Ah, medicine sticks.
I love
medicine sticks. Even though medicine sticks has existed all the way back to IS3, only in IS5 have I truly started to appreciate this item. In fact, it has quickly grown to become one of the collectibles I like the most. In this video, I'll explain you why I absolutely love medicine sticks and why you should pick it whenever you see it. So let's start with the basic. What is medicine sticks? Medicine sticks is a rare collectible that has a very simple effect. All friendly units gain 2 shields on deployment. A shield negates the next incoming source of damage, so that means that you negate the 2 next incoming sources of damage. And with this sentence alone, there's already so many things to say. In essence, this collectible seems deceptively simple. You deploy your units, the enemies will comment them, they will attack your operators, and you will negate the first 2 attacks. But that's far from being it. First, notice how it says when the friendly unit is deployed, not on the first deployment. So that means if you use a unit like Gravel, for example, then every time you deploy your Gravel, she will have 2 instances of shield. So it's already an item that works very well with units that have a low redeployment cooldown. For example, Gravel, Canterbill, this kind of stuff. But that's far from it. Notice how it also says friendly units. The description on the wiki is actually wrong, because on the wiki, the description says operators. However, it is not operators, it is friendly units, and that's entirely different, because that means every time you summon something, anything, for example Deep Color's tentacles, boom, they will have 2 instances of shield. You summon Nightingale's thingies, boom, 2 instances of shield. You summon Calcit's monsters or any other unit that can summon things, for example Beanstalk's Metal Crab, boom, 2 instances of shield. Speaking about Beanstalk, notice how it says when it's deployed. When you deploy Beanstalk's Metal Crab, you obviously deploy the Metal Crab. However, if the Metal Crab dies and it revives by itself or by using her as one, this is also a deployment. So that means every time Beanstalk's Metal Crab revives, it gains the effect of the shields again. So as long as you know how to manage Beanstalk's summon, you can have a nearly infinite summon with Beanstalk. Of course, be careful about extra sources of damage on your units. For example, Necrosis damage is considered a source of damage, Patriot's AoE damage is considered a source of damage, but that's far from it. Remember I said on deployment. And remember, a certain unit is able to teleport. So do you know what happens when Ulpianus gets back to his original position? That's right. He's considered deployed again, and therefore gets 2 new instances of medicine sticks. Also, in IS5, you know you can get some debuffs sometimes. One of them is called Suffering. What it does is that every unit on deployment loses 70% health. Notice how it says on deployment, exactly like medicine sticks. So you may be wondering, how do these 2 interact? Well, it's simple. If you have medicine sticks, it will simply consume 1 stack, and your operators and other friendly units will be deployed at full health, essentially negating this debuff entirely. Be careful, however, because it also works on Utage, for example. There are so many use cases for medicine sticks that it's honestly hard to list them all. But just to list a few, you can use it against Gun Patriot to negate the range attack he does to your units in the backline. You can use it against Patriot to negate the lens damage. You can use it against Fremont to tank 2 bubbles out of 3. You can use it in the Kilon fight to make extra sure that the arts damage dealing beasts do not one-shot your operators. You can use it to have 2 instances of negation against Theresis and Theresa. You can use it in emergency simulated skirmish to negate the damage from the artillery, or in rogue mercenary as well. You can use it in regular army to tank a lot of damage, either from the drones, from W, or from Skull Shatterer. Still, in the Kilon fight, it can negate the damage from the Agini. Again, there are actually so many things that medicine sticks can do that it's basically impossible to list them all. And you know what's the best thing about this item? It's a rare collectible. You can get it either by combining 2 Shrivel and Sprouts, for example, or by finding it in a shop for a mere 8 Origium ingots. It's an absolute steal, so trust me, next time you see this item in the shop, believe in medicine sticks.